Yo, what's up YouTube? This is your host Conspiracy Life coming at you again for more Conspiracy Life TV. Before we get the show on the road, yes, this is a pimple right here. Yes, this is a hat because I need a haircut. Now we've gotten past that, let's move on to the topic. First of all, I'd like to point out that I'm in no way attacking any particular person or racial group or affiliation and whatnot. Just kind of trying to speak what's on my mind. But today, while giving my speech on racial inequality in my very racially diverse class, some things were kind of revealed to me. It's something that I kind of sort of knew. Something that, we're supposed to believe isn't true. The whole thing is prejudice. And, how prejudiced are we? Everyone likes to believe that they aren't really racist and that we're colorblind. It doesn't really mean anything. But, all too often, I'm forced to kind of face this realization that we in fact don't live in that society where, something as insignificant as race isn't an issue anymore. And I come to the conclusion, after giving my speech, I talked about, the inequality and the disparaging between racial groups, more so between whites and minorities. And I kind of highlighted the problems with housing, living conditions, education, and work opportunity, I'll say. And after giving the speech, one of my classmates, who is white, who did grow up in the suburbs in a white community, she asked the question. Now, in her defense, she is, I like to say she grew up in a little suburban bubble, not really exposed to anything other than other people who look like her most of the time. But she asked if it was really fair if things like affirmative action existed. In her questioning, she was pretty fair at that point. But then she went on to say, I have a black friend, and she went on to say that they both had pretty much identical GPAs, test scores, qualifications, and whatnot. They applied to the same schools, but yet her black friend got more scholarships because she was black. And she said that wasn't fair because she's Polish, and because she can speak another language, she can speak fluent Polish, she feels like she should get, a scholarship, or more scholarships or whatnot. But she went on, pretty much was just saying that she thinks it's unfair that, black people get more money to go to school, and black people are, some of the people who are the quota to be filled in the workplace environment, and she feels like she's being, almost gypped out of opportunities because laws like affirmative action exist. And, while she was somewhat fair in her questioning, what made me really upset about it was the thinking afterwards. Like in her speech, just in her tonation, the way she was speaking, you can tell that she doesn't really have a lot of experience with other cultures other than her own. And, it bothers me that people have this mindset that, racism isn't really there anymore, and that affirmative action should just be done away with because, blacks are free, and in theory, everybody has equal opportunity. But what I went on to try to make her understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, YouTube, she had this thought process that everyone kind of started off on an equal playing field. And, pardon me, but that's not true. I'm not racist or anything, but in my opinion, white people had a 400-year head start over black people. So, does racial inequality exist? Yeah. Because you guys start up here, not down here, like minorities do. Specifically black people, who are on the underbelly of American society. We start down here. We have to work ourselves up to here. Not only that, but the opportunities provided don't even allow for a lot of African Americans to work their way up to here, to be considered an equal. We spoke about like job opportunities, and I did like a little research and found that a white convict can get a job before a black man with no felony. And that bothers the shit out of me. That, you know, a person, just because he's white, another man with equal education, with equal experience, who has a criminal record, could get a job before me, who has done nothing. And that just goes to show you and point out the racial inequality. And, you know, why is that happening? Because of a prejudice. Because we have a very, very flawed system. Employment-wise, work-wise, education-wise. And, you know, honestly, affirmative action, I think that it is a racist law, but at the same time, the status quo really isn't allowing for equality. So if 75% of people benefit from it and 25% people, I guess, don't, then that's better than nothing, you know? Let me explain that a little more. She feels like because her black friend got, you know, an extra $3,000 more than her, then that put her at so much of an advantage school-wise. Not taking into account all of the opportunities that she is going to have over her black friend just because she's white. Her getting a fucking scholarship isn't making or breaking her. If anything, it's giving her more of an opportunity to succeed the same way that a person who isn't of color would. And you know, I don't know, when I talk about things like this, it gets pretty serious and I get kind of emotionally flustered. You know, my thought process kind of, you know, I don't know. Really, I just kind of want to know what you all think. I want to know what you all think. You know, racism, while it's not in your face like it used to be, it's still there. It's still there, and it's alive and kicking. But let me know what y'all think.